Hello everyone, it's Darla at Scrap Happens here with Tuesday's tip. Today I want to show you how I made this card using the hand-penned designer paper, the hand-penned petals stamp set, and the penned flower dies, all in the new catalog that started this morning. Yay! It's a really great catalog, and this is a really fun card. I want to show you first how I made the fold, because it's a fun fold, with a really cute belly band. And I wanted to show you how I did the stamping of this flower and cutting it out, and then the coloring. So let's get started. First, you have a piece of 5.5 by 11 mint macaron cardstock, and I'm going to use my bone folder, to make the creases nice and creased, I guess you would say. So your card lays nice and flat. Next, I have pre-cut my designer series paper, the hand-pinned designer series paper, in the sizes of, let's see, this one is 3.5 by 5.25. The next piece is 1.5 by 5.25. And the last piece is 1 by 5.25. And I'll put these measurements on my blog at scraphappensherewithdarla.com. Okay, so there I have my fun fold. Next, I am going to take my belly band, which is 1 inch by 9 inches, and I'm just going to lay it under my card. I'm going to put it on the straight line, and then line my card up as well. And I'm just going to fold it over. You can use your bone folder again. Oops, got a little tilted. I'll line that up. I'll do it again. And then I'm going to put my adhesive down to hold it in place. And it's going to have this seam on there, but that's not going to matter because the stamped flower is going to hide that. Before I put the belly band on, though, I want to put the inside of my card in, and I wanted to just stamp some cute little flowers. So these are from the hand-penned petals stamp set, and I'm stamping off, and then I'm going to just stamp the flowers in the corner in the Highland Heather ink. And then I have some mint macaron to add a leaf, and I'm also going to stamp that off and just add a leaf or two if you'd like more than one, just your preference. You can also stamp your envelope, that's always fun. And next I am going to take my blender pen, and I'm going to put some So Saffron centers into my flowers. And I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal adhesive and add my center to my card. That goes down like that. I'm going to put my belly band on, and then I'm going to show you how to decorate your belly band. Okay, so I have my Stamparatus, and I have pre-cut a piece of thick cardstock with the shape on it, with the flower die, I'm sorry, from the hand pen dies. I'm going to just set it right in there. I've already put my stamp, you can see here, I've stamped it where I want it and where I want to put my piece of thick cardstock. And then I'm going to ink up my stamp with Memento black ink. I'm going to bring it down. It doesn't look like it's going to hit right, so let me get that. Okay, oh, you know what? That center part is, well, it's okay. I'm going to color it. It's a little bit light there, but I think it'll be fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have my blender pins. I haven't used my blender pins in a long time. It's kind of a forgotten technique, I guess. And I'm going to use my Highland Heather, and I'm just going to brush it. It just gives it a really light color, like is a really pastel color, like is in the designer paper. I really like the look of it. It really looks like a watercolor. And then I'm going to do this part of the flower also. You could use your blender pins. I just really liked this particular look because it really went with the paper, with the look of the designer paper. I'll show you. Here's a big piece, and it's just really watercolor-y looking. Watercolor-y looking? Is that even a word? You can add a little darker color. You can make it lighter by adding less ink. And I heard it said that an artist leaves a little white space. It looks more artistic if you leave white space. So that's why I've left some white space there. I'm going to take my yellow, my So Saffron, and add another flower center. And then I'm going to take my mint macaron to do my stems and my leaves. And the mint macaron comes on pretty dark, so I brush it just a couple times on my scratch piece of paper. And when I did my leaves, I went in the direction of the lines on the stems. I mean, on the leaves, these black lines. You probably don't have to do that, but I like the way it looked by doing that. And then one more. Okay. There you have that. Where did I put my card? Here it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add dimensionals. But I want them to stay on the belly band, because if they come up on the designer paper, you're not going to be able to get your belly band off. So I'm going to really measure it closely, and I can see that the part of the stem, the bottom of the flower, is on the belly band. The leaves are on the belly band and the little flower is on the belly band. So I'm going to place them, my dimensionals, in those spots because I know that they will stay on the belly band. My fingers are not working. See, and that hides that seam. Next, I have a piece of 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/4 inch of basic white cardstock. I have the sentiment I wanted to make a Mother's Day card since Mother's Day is coming up. I won't be in town. I'll be in Maui. Oh no, I won't be in Maui. That's the next weekend. Mother's Day is this weekend. So I'm making one for my mom-in-law. And I use the Timeless Tulips stamp set. Happy birthday would be great. Hello. Any sentiment would be great. But I think this makes a really pretty Happy Mother's Day card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Pick a Punch. And I'm going to put that piece of basic white cardstock in there and cut it. I'm going to take my Highland Heather ink and I'm going to get my pad. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment on there. And then I'm just going to add a couple more dimensionals underneath my flower. Actually, this one I didn't put the flower as far over. So this is a learning process. So maybe what I'll do for this card, so I needed to put my flowers over further there. So what I'm gonna do, instead of using that as a Mother's Day card, I'm gonna use the hello. And it is just small enough that it'll fit right under there. So when you're making your belly band, make sure if you want it to say happy birthday or happy Mother's Day in a longer, as a longer sentiment, make sure that you do your seam closer to the right or left of your card so that you have more words for more room for your sentiment. The last thing I'm going to do here, I don't have another piece of that cardstock cut, so I'm not going to add the hello right now, but I'll show you on my blog. I'm going to take some linen thread, 2 strands, and I'm just going to feed it through the hole here. Wait, those are not staying together very well. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a double bow. This way your bow won't fall off because it's tied around the stem. Last, just trim your tails. I think I need to sharpen my scissors. And voila, you have a beautiful Mother's Day card. All of this information will be on my blog. All the everything I've used, all the measurements, you'll find it there. So you can copy and paste it or print it, whatever, however you do it. But all that information will be on there. So go to scraphappensherewithdarla.com and that will all be there for you. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a great day, and I will see you next week with Tuesday's tip. Bye.